Hi, I'm Kelly Hinkle, and I wanted to discuss the reach of persuasive speech and utilizing it in everyday business. Our text, Essentials in Business Communication, actually says that Americans endure 300 to 1,500 persuasive ads or messages in a day. And I think because I'm in sales and I have a teenage daughter, I'm very much at the top end of that number. The biggest change in the digital era has been how quickly these messages can spread and how far they can spread. So, an Instagram post or a Facebook post or a tweet can be across our nation or across the world very, very rapidly. So, developing a well thought out, persuasive message is really important. So, the steps in chapter 8 in our text are very much mirror what all of the sales training I've had over the past couple of decades is. The first step being that you have to establish credibility. So, why is it the person that's reading your message or listening to your message, why is it that they should give it any credibility at all? Maybe you're using other people's expert opinions, or maybe you have knowledge of the subject. You have to convey that to your listener or your reader. The second is that you have to make a reasonable and specific request. So maybe that's, can I have a couple of minutes of your time? Or I have a solution for a problem that I noticed you have. Something that you are asking them to give you a certain amount of attention or time. The third is to tie facts, to tie features and benefits together. So this is very basic sales training and probably the place that most people make an error. They want to speak about the feature of their product or their idea and not how it positively impacts the person that they are speaking to. So for example, when I'm doing receptionist training on selling techniques for their clients in veterinary hospitals, I'll teach them so that means. So, for example, if they're selling a flea and tick pill to their clients, they can say, Mr. Hayes, I want you to give your dog Pepper this pill, Bravecto. It lasts 3 months. So that means that you will only have to remember to give this medication 4 times a year, and that will protect Pepper against the blood-sucking parasites of fleas and ticks. So you have to tie those two things together, otherwise the person doesn't hear the benefit to them. The fourth step is to recognize the power of loss. That could just mean the power of the loss of money, or it could be the loss of prestige, or it could be the loss of um, power in a business. If you're trying to convince a coworker to add an associate, that means they may not have as much control over the situation, and your message needs to recognize that that's a real thing for them. The fifth step is expecting and overcoming resistance. It's very rare that you are charming enough or knowledgeable enough or that your product or idea is good enough that it's not going to have resistance of some kind. So you have to recognize that that's a real thing and listen to a person's response and overcome that. It may be that your product or your idea is expensive. You have to recognize that that's an issue and overcome that by talking about return on investment or something of that nature. The last step is to share solutions and compromise. So it may be that the 3 month flea and tick pill is too expensive. And so there are solutions that are less expensive that can still protect Pepper, but Mr. Hayes has to remember to do that more often. And that may be a better solution for their family. So I think that those steps and well thought out, concise brief messages delivered on a platform that is best for the reader or the listener, whether or not that's a social media post or a letter or an email or a blog or face to face. I think all of those are really excellent ways to utilize persuasive messages in business, and it's really the core of most businesses. Thank you for your time, and I'm enjoying your class very much.